Welcome to the segment of Excuse Me, Mind Your Business. It is such a pleasure to be with you today. What I wanted to do today is actually to introduce the things that we're going to lift up in March. So this is going to be an introduction to the Power Packed segments that we're going to have next month. And what I want to do is actually focus in an area so that your life can be transformed. We can give some actionable steps, and you can go from one segment to the next and actually build and grow and expand your level of influence, the changes that will occur in your life, and actually step off into to newness that you currently don't have. So wherever you're at right now, when I say that, I'm saying to step off from the level that you are now to increase your level of influence, to increase the level of success that you have. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about affirmations. Now, affirmations are very powerful. And one of the things that affirmations allow is actually a pronouncement or announcement of who you are and what is available to you, whether it be success, whether it be health. It's speaking, it's declarative statements that say who you are or what you desire in your life. And the power of affirmations is it speaks what may not appear to be true right now. For an example, if you're looking at, let's say you're looking to get a new job, get promoted, which that's not bad. That's a good thing. Getting promoted is a good thing. So you're looking to get promoted. However, right now there's no job openings. There's nothing like that available. You think that they already have someone in mind for maybe a vacancies that are around. If you're really looking for that, well, you want to speak life. You don't want your brain, your subconscious mind to keep on speaking negative things to you. You want to start speaking positive things so that what you expect is going to happen. What you desire to happen is going to happen. That you're not speaking, oh, I'm not going to get it. That's not going to happen. You don't want to do that because then that normally happens. And then you say, see, I told you. What happened is that your mind went out and said the negative energy that was out there and you brought it up upon yourself in some cases. And you start thinking negative. You expected the negative. So when the negative come to pass, you looked at it and said, see, I told you. So affirmations are just about capturing the power and receiving ideas and things like that. Now, affirmations recently have become extremely, I'm going to say, aware. We've become more aware of affirmations. We've become more acceptable to affirmations because of books like The Secret and other celebrities that now say, well, I thought this or I spoke this over my life and look how my life is, and all the positive things I thought. So now when people of power and authority and wealth say it, now we start to believe it. But just for information, it's always worked. Affirmations are declarative statements and they're like atoms. There is so much power in an affirmation as you really don't understand the magnitude of what can happen because it seems simple. It seems almost minuscule or unimportant and something you say, well, I don't need to do that. And that's not for me. But I'm telling you, affirmations work. Affirmations are even more powerful than vision boards. And you know how I feel about vision boards. Because vision boards bring things to pass because you can see it. Affirmations work at a deeper level than even a vision board because it deals with what you're saying, what you're hearing, and you're speaking it. So it goes to your very subconscious mind and helps you bring things to pass as long as you don't then turn around and negate it by speaking negative on top of the affirmations you said. And I'm going to speak a little bit more about that. So affirmations is about the way we think and they impact our lives and also they impact the lives of others. Now, one of the examples of that is when I start affirming who I am, and affirmations are positive. When I start affirming who I am, other people get a chance to enjoy the new me, to enjoy the positiveness that comes from me, to enjoy my positive energy. And this is not some fantasy land, because I mean, if you're looking for a promotion, you have to do some actionable steps. You have to fill out a resume. You have to do some things there in your office. You have to start speaking life, and you have to be positive all the time. And when you find yourself leaning back to what some of us have known in the past is negative, we have to catch ourselves and then move forward and then speak life over it. So affirmations, again, are about what you say, not about what you see, because what you see may be very different than what you need to say. You hear me? So I'm going to say it again. Affirmations may not have manifested in the natural. It may be something that you don't see with your natural eye, but you see it here in your mind. You know it's true. For an example, some people, when things start happening to their resources, or they don't have a certain amount of money in the bank, or they have this allergic, I'm going to call it a allergic reaction, and they need to go out and start not spending as much money so they can build up their resources in their bank account, or they start having other things happen, or they get a side hustle or something to build wealth, because they're saying, whoa, I know that something is happening in my finances, and I need to look and see what's going on, and then make some changes to cause me to see the increase coming. And then they speak life over their finances. They talk about the fact that they are wealthy and they are wise and they make great choices and all of that. So those are affirmations. And when you hear me say that, notice I said that they are. It's in the first person, and it's in the present tense. It's not I will become wealthy, because when you say I will become, what happens is you put it off into the future tense, and it doesn't cause our subconscious or even our conscious mind to work on what we need to do now to cause that to occur. Okay? So remember, it's first person and it's present tense. Now, it's speaking from a place of knowing that you know this is going to happen. You know it's going to happen. You know you deserve it. You know you receive it. It just has not manifest. Okay, does that make sense? So regardless of what you see with your natural eye, you want to make sure that you speak what you're believing for in the present tense, and as if it's happening, already happened. Okay? So affirmations function as an audible pronouncement or announcement. So it's wonderful to read affirmations. However, it becomes more powerful when we ourselves speak them and when we hear them with our ears. And it's something that happens to us subconsciously at that point. Now, there's 2 times at least that you need to do affirmations. And I recommend you do it in the morning when you get up to start and command your day, because you're saying what you believe you are. And then the second time is when you go to sleep at night before you go to bed. Not your cell phone, not the TV, but say your affirmations and give your subconscious mind something to, I'm going to call, simmer on, to marinate. Not to microwave, but to marinate on. And also have a book or a binder or a journal and a pencil or pen next to your bed, because you will pop up sometimes and think, that's how I fix that, or this is what's going on, or you think of witty inventions and ideas, and you don't want to say, well, after I take my shower, once I get on the train, the bus, the plane, whatever, that I'm going to remember that, because life happens. So you want to jot it down so that you can come back to it later. Yeah, I know you're young and your memory is excellent. However, life happens and you need to jot it down to make sure that you don't lose that thought, that idea, because you want to make sure that you can use it for your future. So now for all of those visual learners, I'm going to use an idea or concept to help us all grasp a little sharper what I visualize as an affirmation. So if you would close your eyes and look at a field, and you see this field, and the only thing that's growing on this field is weeds. It has been overgrown. Now there's probably some flowers in the midst of that, or wildflowers. However, it's blowing in the wind, and what's happening is it's you see it there, and you're thinking, wow, that could be your mind. Your mind, your mental capacity. We allow things to grow up in our mind that are weeds, and the weeds grow with the great thoughts. So an affirmation comes in, and it actually tills the soil, breaks the soil up. The desire even to do affirmations help break up your mental, and I'm talking about your mind, your soil that's going on in your mind, and it allows you to go in and toss out some old ideas and come in and prepare the ground, because you're going to prepare the ground to get the affirmations to grow in your mind so they can be your reality. So if you're believing for success, then maybe there's some thoughts in your mind of where you were taught in the past, or people have spoken death instead of life over you, and where they said, no, you're going to be poor, your mother was poor, your grandparents were poor, you're going to be poor too. Who are you to think that you can come out of this? That's a weed. That's a weed. That's not a seed. That's a weed. Okay? So the affirmation is going to actually help as you do it repetitively, over and over, daily repetition, twice a day, every day. You're going to speak wealth. You're going to speak that you are the lender and not the borrower. You are successful. You know, that I am. And you're going to do it in the first person. I'm saying you are because I'm videoing it. But remember, you're doing it in the first person. You said, I am successful. I am the lender and not the borrower. I have a wealth and riches in my house. I am the head and I'm not the tail. I am above and I'm not beneath. I am, like I said, the lender and not the borrower. I have $10,000 in my savings account, or whatever number you want to put in there. I have it. So then you'll see things happen in your life, like you stop spending as much. You see resources coming in. You say, money is coming to me. And then you do things. You can say that all you want to. If you don't do anything, it's not going to happen, okay? I'm just saying, okay? So you have to go out and do things. You have to use actionable steps to cause this to happen for you. And when the resources start coming in, because you have said affirmations, and you said that you have the capacity and capability to lend and not to borrow, then you're going to start paying off your bills. You're going to start doing those things that align to what you're saying in your affirmations. Okay? And the reason my face is doing this, because I really need us to understand that what happens is we till the ground, we pull up some old ideas, and it's not like all the ideas come up. We till, you've probably done the yard, I know I have, where I worked on a weed and I didn't get the core of the weed, the roots of the weed. So there's sometimes that the weed will try to come back up. So that's the purpose, again, for affirmations, to speak life. So when you see the weed coming up, you know it's not the thought or what you're believing for or what you have decreed and declared over your life. So you pull that out and toss it, not the person that said it, because it's not about people, it's about using your mind. So you toss that out because you know that you are the lender and not the borrower. You produce wealth and you're not just a consumer. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is talk a little bit about some cautions. Because anytime there's a blessing or a way to gain wealth, there are some things we need to be cautious about. Because for me and my faith, I've believed for some things in my life. And it's, the Bible talks about now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen, right? So I worked some things and I believed for them, right? And I'm looking at it and saying, but it didn't happen. So what happened? So what I have found out in my experiences in life is this. And you're going to gain some power or some leverage by knowing this. And it hasn't just happened in my life, it's happened in everybody's life. I can believe for something as much as I want to. I can speak affirmations over things as long as I want to. However, I have to take some steps to cause it to come to pass. My mind can give me witty inventions and ideas. However, I need to write them out and I need to do some research and all of that to make it come to pass. There are some people that you can't tell what you're believing for, how you're going to change. There was a season in my life that I almost weighed 300 pounds, right? Yeah. I wasn't healthy. There was a lot going on. And I was not healthy. I wasn't healthy for other people and I wasn't healthy for me. There were things I could not physically do. So this is what happened. When things start changing in my life and I became healthier, and even now I have to keep in mind of what I desire, what I say, and who I say I am. I'm a size XYZ is what you're saying. Then we have to do what it takes to be a size XYZ. Let's say you want to be a size 8, 10, 12. It doesn't matter. It's what you want to be. So let's say you want to be a size 10. If you want to be a size 10, then start speaking over your life the things that a size 10 would do. That you eat healthy, that I am healthy. I eat vegetables, I drink water, I enjoy water, not I will one day with Kool-Aid and 5 packs of sugar. Okay? So you start doing some things. And the thing about affirmation is they happen over time. So it's not a magic pill. You say an affirmation today and it manifests tomorrow morning. That is not normally the case. Okay? So I'm just going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to mislead you. So it's just like I was mentioning with my faith. What I did in some cases is you have to say affirmations or believe faith or have faith for things you can actually believe for in your life. That's a secret. You hear me? It has to be something that you can imagine, that you can believe for in your life. If you have no money in the bank and you are in major debt, it may be very difficult for you to believe that you have $300,000 in the bank. So what then happens, because it doesn't register for us and we can't really believe it, and I mean believe it at the level, really believe for it, then you may say something different. Like you may need to say, I have $10,000 in the bank. And then as you get closer and your faith increases, your affirmations can become more powerful and still go to the next level, 100,000. Add zeros is my thing. Look, money is about adding zeros. I know people say zeros are not important, but trust me, you can put a 1 and a bunch of zeros behind that. I'm all in. Okay? So I'm just saying. So add some zeros. So do it at your level. Don't allow anybody to say, oh, you can believe for higher than that. No. You don't need to believe that you're out of this credit card debt for $10,000. Believe that your house is paid off. You don't owe anybody nothing. And the word says that, owe nobody nothing but to love them. However, you need to believe at your level. And then as your level increases, you can believe for greater things. You want to believe for what you can achieve and conceive in your mind. Okay? So you believe it, you conceive it in your mind, and you can achieve it. If you can't conceive it in your mind, then there's a disconnect. And no matter how many affirmations you speak, there's going to be a disconnect in bringing it to pass, because you're going to do things to sabotage what could happen. Does that make sense? So one of the cautions, as I was mentioning, cautions, is do it at the level you can believe. Because if you don't, you're going to do things to sabotage yourself. For example, I know people that have lost weight and they've kept it off. And then I've known people who have lost weight through surgery, dieting, whatever, exercise. And as soon as they get down to a certain weight, it's like something triggers in their mind and they don't believe they deserve it. They don't, or they see people looking at them, and they get scared. And the next thing you know, they have gained that weight plus some more back. And they call that the yo-yo syndrome. So we have to find out what's eating us, so we can control what we're eating. And that's in food, the physical sense, or it's in vision and purpose and what we're believing for in every aspect of our lives. People have gotten promotions. I mean, you see the news just like I do. People have believed for promotions, making millions of dollars, and did something that sabotaged their life and caused them to be removed from that. So controlling our lives, or knowing who we are, knowing the cautions of this powerful thing like affirmation and faith, is something we need to be aware of. So we need to look at how we can be careful about, not fearful. Remember, I'm not saying fear. I'm saying just be careful about what you're believing for, to make sure that you have the ability to accept it in our mind, our heart, and our hand. Okay? So that's really powerful. So don't the key again is to believe for it, to make sure that you can receive it in your heart, your mind, and your hand. Because if any of those are a disconnect, what's your affirmations that you're saying, there's going to be a disconnect in your affirmations. So my point for saying that is, start where you are. List a couple items that you perceive that you want to change, life-changing areas, whether it be weight, whether it be money, whether it be relationship, and then list some affirmations strategically in that area that you can believe for. Maybe you can't believe for a husband, or let's say the total restoration of your marriage. But you can believe that today is a better day with your marriage. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to say the affirmation that my relationships are better. I currently have a healthy relationship with my spouse. I have a healthy relationship with my spouse. So that, and then you go off and you say, okay, what does healthy look like to me? What does healthy look like to them? And can we come together for that? But if healthy to you, or debt-free to you, is just paying off your credit card bills, then there's nothing wrong with that. Debt-free to me is owing no man nothing. I mean, pay off everything. So neither one of us are right or wrong. It's just where my faith is. And I believe that makes sense. I just need you to use that as an actionable caution to believe for what you can conceive in your mind. If you believe for $10,000 in the bank, there's nothing wrong with that. Because especially right now, if you're overdraft or you only have $100 in the bank, $10,000 is not a negative. So after you say your affirmation, then put legs to it and believe for a number, a step to say what the number is. Because you said, I am wealthy. What does wealthy look like? So you want to say, I am healthy. What does healthy look like? And what am I willing to do to get that, to be that? to obtain that, to conceive that, to achieve that. Okay? So that's part of it. Now, the other thing is be sure we stop and catch ourselves when we speak from our past. For example, you're speaking an affirmation that says wealth and riches is in your house. I have wealth and riches in my home. Then before the end of day happens, a person then says they're broke. Those two don't go together. So when you find yourself, because sometimes we have more history on the negative side than we have on the positive side of changing and doing the affirmation and having a now faith attitude. So when you find yourself saying something that does not align or does not support the affirmation that you have been saying in the morning and in the evening every day, then you have to catch yourself and stop and then say, no, wealth and riches is in my house. Now, in the meantime, you may be getting some bills in that doesn't look like wealth and riches is in your house. Okay? Let's be real, okay? But you keep on speaking it and then just manage what you have. Manage it better. Don't go out and spend money that you don't have. Go out and be a good steward over what you have in your hand. And as you see the multiplication happen, you have already built strength to pay off debt or to be timely with your bills and all of that. So you'll knock it out. And pretty soon, before you know it, you will have the wealth and riches in your hand that you've always decreed and declared from your affirmations. Because you will start attracting it. It'll start happening to you. And you'll be like, wow, how did I get favor in that area? I called them about this and they said, yeah, they're going to accept this contract. I went to an interview, and even though initially, if it had been 3 months ago or last month or maybe last week, I wouldn't have believed I could do it. However, this time I studied, I went out and looked at the organization. I could speak their jargon and their language. I know what they were looking for. And look at this. I got the job. Now, don't be so modest that you don't celebrate. Celebrate that you got the job. Celebrate when your accounts are increasing. Celebrate when your debt is decreasing. Celebrate so you can enjoy every moment of your process. So remember, affirmations are a process. You want to make sure that you say affirmations that you actually believe, because remember, they are declaring the truth in your life. Okay? So now, remember, affirmations take time, they take energy, they take your effort, and you need to be consistent. No one knows the time, so stop digging up your affirmation. Stop digging up your seed that you're planting every 5 seconds and looking at it and saying, okay, is it grown yet? No. Just know that it's coming, and you keep on working on what you're working at. Okay, you keep on decreeing and declaring. You keep on speaking life over whatever you're speaking life over, and you keep on going. And one day, you'll just see it. It happened. It manifested. It came to pass. And then you continue to build on your affirmations. Remember, it takes energy. Energy means it takes your participation. You believing to be out of debt and go swiping your credit card for every 5 seconds is not going to work. Or your debit card is not going to work, because you ain't saying the same thing. You're saying one thing, but you're doing another. So it doesn't align. So you want to make sure that that your energy and your effort is in alignment with that. And it takes consistency. You're not going to you didn't get in debt in 5 seconds, and you're not going to get out of debt in 5 seconds. Unless, by some chance you win the lottery. And then even with that, for real? If you can't manage the money that you have in your pocket right now, if we don't learn to speak affirmations and positive things over our life right now, then all money does, cash, is magnifies who you are. So if a person has no character integrity, if a person is loose with their money and they're a spender, then they're not going to have any control or anything when they win or get a large increase of resources. So Take actionable steps. Be consistent. Take your effort, take your time and your energy and align to what you know and you're willing to affirm and decree and speak life to. Because remember, an affirmation is a declarative statement that that is your truth of what you desire in your life right now. It is a process and you need to go through the process because it builds muscles so that you don't have to step back after you get what you're believing for. Now, one of the ways that I'm going to encourage everybody on this segment and to look at is to go out to the daily legacy moments that are done, and you'll see in the Facebook page that will be listed below. If you go out there, I actually put every day a daily legacy moment that will be an affirmation for the month of March, and even now I do it for the month of March, specifically that links into positive, powerful affirmations that you can use to help catapult your life to the next level, to cause you to be stronger, to be wealthier, to be more powerful and mindful and healthy, and to be whole. Okay, it's gonna help it. You speak life over every area of your personal life, so that you can grow and expand and reinvent and have the life that you desire and deserve. Don't look for someone else to do what you can do in your life. Build a life that you deserve, that you desire. Build the most fabulous life that you want. However, remember, it's going to take your time, it's going to take effort, it's going to take you being consistent, it's going to take you speaking affirmations over your life, and we're here to assist you in your process. To continue to get the new items and segments that come out, don't forget to subscribe below. This is Johnnie with the Excuse Me, Mind Your Business.